Hey guys, Dark Angel here. So, check this out. What you see on my screen here is a case called Buck versus Kuykendall, 267 U.S. 307 1925. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through this area right here. So this is going to be a short video because I want to show you guys historical facts that the haters, traitors, and trolls and tyrants alike don't seem to know and understand. Okay? As you guys know, I read you the case City of Chicago versus Collins, proving to you that a license was not needed for your personal private automobile to operate on the highways of a state. So we know this for a fact. We know that it is factual. It was in fact factual, and is in fact factual. So we do know this. We've established this. So basically what I was explaining to you in that video is that you need to look to the case New York Rifle and Pistol Association versus Bruin 2022 United States Supreme Court case, where it set out a new precedent as to how to determine the constitutionality of a statute as it applies to a right. Now, in Bruin, they established that New York City's statute prohibiting open carry, okay, was unconstitutional. So, and what they done was to determine that, they went to look at the historical aspect of the act itself via that of the Constitution under the Second Amendment. The right the right to bear arms, as established through the Constitution, had no regulations. Okay, no restrictions, I should say. So based on that aspect of no restrictions, right, that is basically what the court decided, that they were going to base that on that. Okay, so basically what we're doing now is we're applying that principle to the right to travel. Okay, so again, you're looking to the historical aspect. So what restrictions was placed on the right to travel, and that of your personal private automobile? Well, at the time, the only thing required was that a personal private automobile adhere to the laws of the road. And the laws of the road, for all you haters, traitors, and trolls out there, did not include a driver's license. It was traffic lights, stop signs, speed limits, etc., etc. Making sure you have proper lighting on your automobile, brakes, horns, safety equipment. So, if you look to Buck versus Kuykendall, it is another Washington case from 1925. Now, this goes to show you, this brings this up into, you know, the closer times, and showing you that even in 1925, personal private automobiles still did not require licensing. Why? Because it says so right here. If you look right under the margin right there, it says the right to travel interstate by auto vehicle upon the public highways may be a privilege or immunity. Privilege or immunity. So let me explain these two words right here, these two terms. Privilege or immunity. Okay? Privilege, to use the streets in that of a commercial activity and or through that of interstate commerce. Immunity, the right. Okay, so you could take your personal private automobile, use it as an Uber, a Lyft, delivery type vehicle, you know, automobile I'm talking about, a taxi cab, a limousine, and it is a privilege. Why? Because you are using the streets as a business. Okay? The immunity, the right, okay, does not fall under the privilege. Okay? They are separate. As you can see here, privilege or immunity, it is defining the two, separating the two, okay, as one is being one that is required to have permission, and one does not require to have permission. Okay? So, highways may be a privilege or immunity of citizens of the United States. Compare 73 U.S. Nevada. 6 Law 35. A citizen may have under the 14th Amendment the right to travel and transport his property upon them by auto vehicle. But, what does it say right here, guys? It says, but he has no right to make the highways his place of business by using them as a common carrier for hire. Okay? Such is a privilege which may be granted or withheld by the state in its discretion without violating either the Due Process Clause or the Equal Protection Clause. Packard versus Banton, 264 U.S. 140, 264 U.S. 144. The highways belong to the state. It may provision appropriate for securing the safety and convenience of the public in the use of them. Kane versus New Jersey, 242 U.S. 160, and it may impose fees with a view both raising funds to defray the cost of supervision. Okay, supervision means they're supervising commercial activity and interstate commerce, not private activity. And maintenance, and to obtaining compensation for the use of the road facilities provided. Now, if you look right here, you'll notice the Haters, Traders, and Trolls most famous cases mentioned. Hendricks versus Maryland. Now, why would they be mentioning this case in this case? Because Hendricks versus Maryland is also a interstate commerce case. And a lot of the Haters, Traders, and Trolls and tyrants don't seem to understand that Hendricks versus Maryland mentions interstate commerce within its content 25 times, and it associates motor vehicle as being a vehicle operated in commerce 25 times. Now, if you go into the confines of Hendricks versus Maryland, in the opinion, they actually mention in there that licensing requirements for an automobile has never been presented to the court. It actually says that. And then it goes on to mention that because a license is required for motor vehicles, okay, it does not discriminate against a class of vehicles. It actually says that in the case as well. So basically what I'm telling you guys is this. If you was to ever address this issue in a court of law and you was going to make an appeal, okay, using the principle set out in Bruin, okay, New York Rifle and Pistol Association versus Bruin 2022, the historical aspect is validated through all of the United States Supreme Court cases where every single state in the United States has validated that in order to operate under the immunity clause, which is the right, okay, you had to be operating a personal private automobile, that you did not have a right to conduct business on the highways, period. And that is what it says. That is what all of the laws say. Why no one has ever been able to present this to an appellate court and win this argument is beyond me, when the proof and the evidence is right there in your face. So I suggest you guys look to the case Bruin, look to the principles set out in Bruin, and know and understand that you need to apply that principle to the historical aspect of your right to travel, okay, in your personal private automobile. There is so many cases out there that validate this, okay. I gave you one. I gave you the main case, City of Chicago versus Collins. You know, you guys should have took that from there and realized that that's the path to freedom. You don't need to be a state national. You don't need to be a sovereign. You don't need to be any of that to exercise your constitutional rights, your constitutional God-given rights. You are not governed by no state, okay? You got to understand that. All men are independent of all laws, okay? There is no state, no government that can tell you how, when, or what you can do to get around this free country of ours. So you guys need to know and understand that. Me personally, I haven't had a license or registration on any of my automobiles, and if you go in my pictures on my deal, you will notice that on my van I have private plates on my van. I have private plates on my wife's car. So therefore, with that being said, you know, that's how we roll, and I've been doing it for over 40 years. And I'm going to tell you right now, if you're not doing business in those streets, acting in interstate commerce, okay? Now you guys got to keep in mind too, interstate commerce and commercial activity, okay, are two different fields of activity. One is heavy duty, which also enjoins commercial activity, and one is distance business, state to state business, okay? Limousines can travel state to state, taxis can go state to state, you know, automobiles that travel interstate, that's doing business, okay? So you have to know and understand and learn to discern the difference between interstate commerce and commercial activity. Both of them require licenses. Okay, for those of you guys that don't know that. So, and no, I'm not using this as being vindictive or trying to talk down on anybody, or, you know, what I'm doing is doing a teaching thing, and you guys that do know me and have been paying attention to my videos, you know I've just had major oral surgery on my mouth. So therefore I'm in the healing process right now, and that is healing, and here I am still getting these videos out, trying to get these videos out, okay? So I just want to make sure that everybody knows and understands that these cases that I give to you in reference to the right to travel are all power cases, guys. These are all power cases, okay? These cases right here is your historical case law to establish your free right to travel unencumbered without government interference. It's facts, nothing but facts. So with that being said, guys, this is Dark Angel. Hey man, I hope you guys are out there doing the right thing. Kings and queens, act like kings and queens. Do everything in honor. And this is Dark Angel. Hey, let's get these likes up on these videos. Let's share these videos and get them out there so that we can get the follows up. I would like to get the follows back up so that I can do some lives, to get some of you people on live, because I know a lot of you have a lot of questions, and unfortunately I can't answer all of the questions, but I'm quite sure that if we're on a live, we can do that. So the goal is to get me up to where I can get back on the lives again. Alright, so if you guys don't mind, like and share this video. Share it with all your friends. Tell them to just hit that follow button. Even if they don't follow, just tell them to hit that follow button. And let's get these up, guys. So with that being said, this is Dark Angel. Much love, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this information. Hope it was helpful. Put this case in your arsenal. I have hundreds of cases from all around the country that substantiate and support your right to travel without a license. And here's the interesting thing about this that I want to say before I get off of here is a lot of these cases that you're going to hear me read, people haven't even heard of. Okay, it's not the regular old Thompson versus Smith, Hendricks versus Maryland. It's not those cases. These are actually state Supreme Court case. And as you can see right here, what does that say right there? U.S. Supreme Court. So this is the United States Supreme Court who actually validated that a license for your personal private automobile was not required. So there you go, guys. People keep saying, well, the Supreme Court never said that. They actually did. They said it right here in this case right here. And I just read it to you and showed you in here exactly what they said word for word. So what you got to do is you got to come in here right here, the right to travel, okay, interstate by auto vehicle upon the public highways may be a privilege or an immunity. They're not saying that you're going to be granted immunity. What they're telling you is that if you are not operating in that of a commercial capacity doing interstate commerce, you have the right to be on the road without restriction, without regulations, okay? But you do not have the right to be on the road, using the roads as a place of business for hire. Simple. Real simple, guys. Real simple. Okay? So, with that being said, guys, like I said, I go into a lot of expression when I express cases, and I'm not one of the best speakers in the world. I never claimed to be. So, like I said, I just had major surgery on my mouth. It's still healing. So, but I'm still here because this is where my heart's at, and this is what I do. So, to all of the Nicks, the Roger Brennans, the Mike Marquezes, the HN Mikes, and all of you haters, which are you guys, the trolls, all of you, these videos are specifically directed towards you guys, to get you guys to know and understand that you are out there being the false prophets. And with that being said, guys, I'm going to leave that alone because I'm not going to get off into ragging on them idiots. So with that being said, guys, this is Dark Angel. I'm out. Deuces.